while John is sunning himself on his Caribbean island, I'm here in Portugal to ride this Triumph's new Speed Triple 1200 RS. It's the 9th incarnation of this fairly famous model that's been in the lineup since 1994. It's got a bit more power, it's been restyled, it's got a load of trick electronics, and it's got electronic suspension for the first time as well. So it bodes well. We're going to ride it here on the Portimao MotoGP track and then out on the road. It's scheduled to rain a bit, but I don't think that's going to spoil my enjoyment at all. So sit down, grab yourself a beverage, and Chopsy, roll the intro. I give you a wet and getting wetter Portimao racetrack. As you can hear, I'm not at my most enthusiastic. C'est la vie, Rodney, c'est la vie.
So, Portimao,
yep.
You've been before?
Yep. Not for a long time,
Not
mind
for
you.
How long? How long?
You know what, can't remember which is it, mind you, that could have been... That might mean just the previous week, knowing my memory. I don't think I've been for about... over 5, maybe 7 years or so.
Right, okay.
Still the same.
Yeah, it hasn't changed, It's still there anyway.
Still super challenging, as somebody said. Takes a while to learn, but a hell of a long time to feel really comfortable. Tyre warmers, bloody hell. It's like being a factory rider, so it is. I'd like to go around with you, Gareth. Yeah, okay. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Right, given the fact that I have got 3 20-minute sessions and I am rustier than a trawler that's been parked by the North Sea for about 100 years. I mean, fucking hell, he's going too fast already for my liking, I'll tell you. Now, there's some moisture on his tyres here, I don't like that at all. He's going too fast here, I'll tell you. Don't like this at all. Right, what gear are we in there? It's not 3rd. Bloody hell, this is talky, this thing. I think I've been in about 5th gear so far. It's got a really lovely, taut, accurate feel to it. I mean, look, 4th gear just pulls beautifully. This is Gareth Roberts, who, would you believe, I taught to be an instructor. And he is now doing the business on me. Looks like he's been tutored well. I mean, I don't know what the bloody hell I'm doing at this moment. I'll just leave this in 3rd again. He's going too fucking fast. I haven't even got my knee down yet. Got no idea where I'm going. And it sounds fabulous. Fucking hell, it's windy. Right, let's pass him. Fucking hell, this is hard work. To do this right. Right, far too hot into there. Let's get a bloody knee on the floor, shall we? Hard work holding on. Such a tricky corner on. This is fucking shit. Look at it. Don't know where the fuck I am going at all.
Thank you, buddy.
Cheers, I see. Oh man, I'll tell you, I was embarrassingly slow.
What? It was a 2-day launch, so first day you're on track, second day you're on the road.
Yep.
I've seen from some of the other videos that it was a little bit moist.
A bit moist?
Both days moist? Or?
Do you know what, it was variable. There were times when you simply couldn't film. It was just torrential. Dear camera, today is what we deem as a tricky day at the office. Listen, it's wet, it's dry, they've put us on wets, but the track looks bloody slippery. We're bringing to you as much as we can. Bear with us, viewers, bear with us. Right, now, the problem with this man is he's very fast. She's already going too fast. Slow down, Luke, for fuck's sake. Okay, Yep, learning a lot of that. All right, missing the apex a bit. Oh, puddle. Ah, yes, the apex. Let's see how my fitness does here. I'm feeling all right now. Half a lap in. This is a tricky corner. We're just on the side of the tyre for too long. Look back, Luke, for fuck's sake. Oh, he's turning in earlier than I would there. Yeah, but he knows what he's doing. Right, I hope you don't go too fast down this straight. You've got to put the brakes on, for fuck's sake. Right. This is my trouble, starting to get tired now. Just when he's warming up. I wish he had a gear indicator on his back, but he just tips it over. Look, and now he's on the power. I'm too busy trying to stop being frightened. You need to hold this first part whilst drifting out. Tipping in, tipping in. Good feelings, wet. Now this is a fucking scary corner. Right, look back for fuck's sake. Gear for this. Second gear, waterfall. This is where I need to be quite committed. Third gear's a bit much. Steady on, Luke. There's no need for that. Whoopsie daisy. Finish. Come off the footrest there. We're on the brakes here, I think. Fucking hell, it's pissing down. I need what does Doctor Who have? What's his...
A line of cocaine.
Not... What's Doctor Who? I need a TARDIS to go back about 40 years in time.
Just 40? Back into your 40s.
No, you don't realise how much strength you need, do you, until you don't have it.
Yeah, until you stop doing it. The stuff you're using, you can only really use on a bike.
Yeah.
The muscles you're using, it's...
Yeah, a very specific level of fitness, isn't it? I understand John McGuinness when he says, look, I might be a bit shit down the gym, but...
Dave Jeffries.
Yeah, same.
18.5 stone.
Yeah.
Felipe Lopez, you know?
Yeah, how old are you, Felipe? ¿Cuántos años tienes?
49.
49, fucking old, respect. 65.
Well, it's got a lot of character, isn't it? The noise, the sound.
Do you know what? Some bikes have that X factor. It's very hard to define, easy to discern and recognise, but just a bit tricky to sort of tell people exactly why it's moving you as emotively as it did. I hated it to begin with, you know. Utterly hated it.
Why? What was it? Because you did track first, didn't you? So
Yeah,
I guess you were straight out on...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, straight out on an unfamiliar track. Just felt really rigid.
Yeah.
Just felt... I'll tell you what the biggest thing was. It was just edgy and it lacked feel and feedback. I didn't know whether it was going to go, you know, if I added a bit more lean angle. It wasn't sending any messages.
Do you think that's because the way they'd set, because obviously it's electronic suspension on this, you think it's because of the way they had it set up?
Yes, and
Right.
Felipe was a lovely man. Felipe Lopez, he's one of the test guys.
Okay.
I just said, look, can you soften this up? I'm not getting any feedback. And anyway, he backed it off from dynamic to normal. I said, no, I want more. And he put it in comfort, different motorbike. The combination of familiarity of the track and the bike helped, but just really felt as though I knew what was going on then, you know. And I kept it that way for the remainder of the test, you know. A lot of racers back suspension off when it's wet, and for good reason, you know. It's just that communication you're after. Fucking hell, that's a shit rider that does that. I.e. me, not her. Come on. Corner speed is brilliant. Right, I need to get her at the end of this still. Careful there, need to be careful, get on the gas. Steady. Fucking hell. Yes, must go to gym. Note to self, get a lot fitter.
So the track ride, obviously wet, but it gave you a good option to test out electronics, you know, fully exploit the bike's performance potential. What about the road ride? How did you find it on the tarmac on the road?
I was a bit daunted by the prospect of that, you know, because I thought the tyres might be a bit too sporty.
Because this was on the supercourses, obviously.
Yeah, they didn't put wets on for the roads. They were good, but they weren't that good. Ian Cobby said, don't worry, they're better than you think, and he was right. I think once you got them up to a bit of temperature, it wasn't cold, you see, in Portugal.
Yeah, it was wet but warm.
I mean, it dropped to a measly 13 degrees at one stage, but now they were. I was surprised. I mean, I've done some laps on them at Cadwell before in the damp and thought, I'm going to be on my arse here. Well, you think that a lot on any tyre.
Whenever you go out on the road, you think that.
Exactly. But yeah, I think once a bit of warmth into them, you know.
Okay.
I mean, if you spend a bit of time sort of just warming the things up deliberately, getting on the brakes, getting a bit of heat into them, and again, those manners that the bike exhibited on track, really, just that ease of use, that user-friendly, don't you worry about things, son type attitude and personality that this bike's got really helped. It was good. Love the suspension. Haven't adjusted it today at all, but it's just got a really nice level of feed and feedback, as well as offering very good support. Fucking rain, man! Not a great motorcycling day. Yeah, despite the fact it's not a touring bike, it's not classed as one. I see it having a bit of potential, but only within a certain speed range. Yesterday at the circuit, I mean, I'm not sure what pace we were going down the straight. I think I got up to about 220k actually, which I don't know, I'll do the maths later. It was pretty fast, and bloody no, it was painful on the neck, to the point where my neck hurt this morning. So yeah, I think you'd have to keep it in your pants a bit on a long motorway style run. Got cruise control, mind you, to aid the longer runs. I mean, it's a very, very, very well equipped bike, this, but I personally would have to have a bit of wind protection. It's just too damn painful. I mean, you know, the riding position's a bit crucifix-like for the upper body, and bearing in mind that level of exposure to the wind force, it's perhaps no surprise that it gets as painful as it does. I have to say, the roads we've been on this morning have been a bit knackered. It's certainly bumpy like this one, but you can see the quality of the suspension. It's firm, there's no doubt about that, but it's not harsh. And I think if I back this off, though as yet I don't know how to do that, I'll have to do that at lunchtime. Just like it was yesterday at the track, it's an appreciably softer and more compliant ride. It's a pretty old part of Portugal, this. Pretty bloody wet. Oh, dry road alert. You know, whatever next. Rain's coming back again. This is a character test. Brilliant engine, really impressive. Super smooth from a vibration point of view, or lack of vibration. And just look, let's just let it drop. We're in top gear here, 50k, I think that's about 35 miles an hour. Full throttle, bit of vibe there on the uptake, but just pulls very, very nicely and dependably.
The previous version, the non-electronic Odeons, was really criticised that it was very, very, very harsh.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
So even if you had this one as in a firm setting, it still felt...
do you know what? For British road use, I'd probably very rarely...
You'd have it soft.
Yeah, you'd have to have it on the softer setting, but... no, but it made the bike, you know. I mean, it's clever stuff, you know. Well, the claim is, at least, it's intelligent stuff. It knows when you're braking. You know, lots of messages are being sent to the IMU. It knows when you're cornering, and it knows when you're getting on the gas. And it adjusts each end, or both ends, to suit that position.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're on the brakes, for instance, it stiffens the compression damping on the fork, and it releases a bit of rebound on the back, so it can pitch the weight forward, you know. And then I presume when you're actually cornering, it sort of levels things up at both ends, and then when you're on the gas, it'll do, you know, the stiffening at the rear. But no problems, and you do feel changes that you make, you know. I wouldn't mind just learning how to soften it a bit. So, it's the joystick, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, I see, right, very good. Yeah, it has softened it off. I mean, we backed it off quite a lot there, according to the settings on the clock, but it's still offering quite a bit of support. No, I like it. And I like the fact that I did all that without getting any tools out.
And that sort of interface to work all of that, was that relatively easy? Did you just change like Sport, Street and everything adjusted with it?
Do you know what? I didn't adjust it much, and I had my man do it. But listen, I watched him
press the button.
Yeah.
It seemed very easy.
It did look tough for him. It was easier to ask him. You know, he knew how to access stuff straight away. But certain electronics, as you know from my time on that GS, aren't super intuitive, and you need a bit of time on them to just learn them off pat, you know, and just to get that, what's that crucial word that I'm looking for, vocabulary black hole, when it's sort of an instinctive thing, you know, you want something Bosch, you know what to do without thinking about it. I was a bit off that. Hence the man.
The man was needed. Did you have him on a pillion on the road drive?
No.
He's reaching over you.
Yeah.
Pushing the buttons.
Yeah, quite well mannered in town. I mean, the fueling's perfect. Riding position's sort of good enough for you to manoeuvre the bike easily enough. The big wide bars, I love them. Yeah, I mean, look, first gear, you know, slow speed, no jerks, no jolts, and nothing too abrupt when you first open the throttle as well. Just sorted. So that wheelie control, that was clever.
That's quite a big feature on the new bike. They're making quite a big thing of that anyway, aren't they? The wheelie. How did you find it? Did you try and...
They had a session for it.
For clutch ups?
Yeah,
or
well,
was it more on
well,
the power?
whoa,
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Right, that's a very relevant thing
Yeah.
you've just said there. It was strange. Sam, the big chief, the front wheel lift control designer.
Oh.
It was his baby.
It's his baby.
He just outlined what we were going to do. He outlined what we needed to do on the bike. And to be honest, it was a bit alien. I thought, well, hang on a minute, you just don't you do it the way I've always been doing it for years and years? The deal is, we went down the start-finish straight, and from slow speed, you went over the crest. You know that crest after the last corner straightens.
Yeah.
Unloaded the front, and then after you'd picked whatever setting you want. Right, one's about here, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, at first I was a bit cagey, so I put it on 2, I think. And basically, you whack the throttle open, and the IMU knows what angles it at. You know, it knows it's got speed sensors. It knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And it gives you everything you need and no more, and you just have to feed it gears. Now, I struggled with it to begin with because there's no clutch involved. You know, you don't do that. You do that and let the brain do the rest. Anyway, I kept going for a gear too early, so I'd drop it. Eventually, I've done something a bit more respectable. But here's the thing. There's a couple of guys who were not familiar to wheelies, and they did the best ones.
Did they? Because they didn't have that previous...
Yeah, old dog, new tricks, not easy. Listen, I would have got it. I mean, I only had 3 goes at it.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting concept, really. I mean, there'll be people in authority scratching their chins thinking, what are Triumph doing inciting this monowheel activity? I mean, they will though, won't they?
Well, they will. I mean, where are you actually meant to use it?
Exactly.
You can't use it on a track day. You're not allowed to do wheelies on a track day.
Yeah.
You're certainly not allowed to do wheelies on the road. It's for people who've got massive driveways, I suppose,
do you not have one of them? Do you not have one?
I don't, unfortunately.
Do you know what? Those Triumph guys, they've got a proper open mind. I mean, I talked to Stuart Wood at length at the end, you know, and he was really pleased. Quite naturally, it's his baby, but he was really pleased that I was getting it, you know. He could sense the emotion that bike had raised within him. Fucking great brakes and forks, man. Just makes this sort of stopping, even of a more urgent nature, a completely drama-free process. It's a bit of a drama-free bike, come to think of it. I need to get to the front of this group, for it is too slow. Right, let's have a look at this. One picked off. Let's look forward, good. Roads are dry and grippy if you're wondering. Now, there's lots of really good motorbikes out of there that dynamically just perform brilliantly, but do not have that level of appeal.
Factor,
that bike does for me. Yeah.
Okay, because the triples are sort of a really good engine configuration as well, isn't it? You've got loads of torque, you've got a bit of top end there, and you get that sound as well.
Do you know what? It was a lot more than the sum of its parts. Its parts are very special.
Yeah.
But I just think, do you know what? I haven't ridden a bike that felt so sorted for a long time.
No.
Everything complemented each other. This is where the rain helped, right? I got on that plane thinking 180 horsepower. I knew it was wet, or the forecast was wet. I thought, this is going to be a bit scary. Just a bit scary. Nothing of the sort. Yeah. It just had that, and I hate to use this term in a way because what I'm about to say represents some of the blandest, devoid of personality references that you can think of. But do you remember the VFR 750? This is before it won all the group tests, and it was just so sorted, and it had such an ease about it, you know, a manageability. That's what this Triumph's got.
Okay.
The engine is one of the very best features. I mean, it's an absolute gem. The power, it can't have a power curve. It must have just a straight line. The more you rev it, the more it gives you, but it does so in such a linear, progressive, super predictable fashion. Dead easy to use. I'm not saying you could just whack it on and get away with it. All I'm saying is You knew where you stood.
Yeah.
There were no sort of peaks or troughs, nothing to catch you out or nothing to be wary of. You know, certain bikes, you know that any second now, when it gets to that level of RPM, it's going to out like that.
Yeah.
So manageable.
Yeah.
Sadness descends upon me. I think I've probably got 10 minutes more of this highly pleasurable 2-day outing on this bike. Didn't start well. First laps at Portimao, in fact first session. Didn't care for it at all. Just thought it was a bit too focused, but I've got used to it more since then. Learned to forgive a few things. And now I just really quite enjoy it. And let's face it, if I could enjoy it in conditions like those we've had to tolerate, then bloody hell, what's it going to be like in great weather? I don't think I would have necessarily appreciated it that much more, actually. I mean, you know, riding it in tricky conditions and on a tricky track let me really appreciate just how easy it is to get on with. I mean, listen, this is a fast bloody motorbike. I mean, I've just revved the engine out a bit. I don't know what you do with these red lights here. You shouldn't really go through them. When you rev it out, bloody no rate's a mover. It should be, you know, it's 180 horsepower. But yeah, most of the time you don't really need to cane it at all. It's just got enough grunt and flexibility to just open the throttle, even in the big gears. You probably wouldn't buy it for everyday use, and if you had another bike, you would make sure you reserved the Speed Triple for special times when the sun's out and when the route was great, and it would make an already sort of special equation feel that much better. You know, really rewarding, really endearing.
Yeah.
I haven't said that about a bike for a while, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think they've got it right, you know, in terms of that just je ne sais quoi. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward.
No,
to
man, you must.
What we're going to do, we are going to do a comparison. So we're definitely going to be bringing one in for a comparison, probably of my Hornet. So and maybe the new S1000R, which I was riding the other week. Quite a good little sort of group test we could perhaps do there.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
So if you're interested in that, you know, you've got to do subscribe, all that jazz, and.
I'm trying to predict the result, which is unwise of me. But I mean, if that Triumph doesn't feature highly in that, I'll be amazed.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. Do you know what? I mean, the badge helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what? I didn't ask where the thing was put together, because quite a few Triumphs are put together in the Far East now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
Thailand, I think, isn't it?
But there's a Britishness to it. In fact, you know what? When I was doing my onboard Camry, I mentioned the word exotic. And you don't often say that about a British product, do you? I don't know what it is. We're a bit more sort of, a bit more down to earth and just not quite that special. But this is the exception, I think. Really enjoyed it. You might have guessed.
Yeah.
You might have guessed.
You seem to have liked
it. It's a rave job. Yeah.
Good. Well, thanks very much for going. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, so thanks very much for attending that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, 2 days in Portugal, being sort of pampered and sent around the track,
fed and watered.
There were a couple of times when the rain was everywhere. I just thought this is going to be
Did you not
a
have
nightmare.
Jeeves with a brolly following you around?
Well, he wasn't. I didn't pay him that much. No, good event.
Good.
Very good event. Well done, Triumph, man. They gave us the very best opportunity to examine and enjoy the bike, and I think it's worked, you know.
Yeah, superb.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you soon. See you next time. Thanks
Au
very
revoir.
much.
Bye-bye.